Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to decode what it really takes to make it on YouTube. And I'm not talking about luck. We're talking about a proven formula. A clear set of steps from the pros who've totally mastered the platform. So let's get into it. Okay, let's kick things off with a number that's, well, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. 60 billion. That's billion with a B. That's how many views YouTube expert Daryl Eves has helped generate. And look, this isn't just some random flashy number. It's a massive signpost pointing to the almost limitless opportunity that's sitting there on YouTube right now. And that opportunity, that's exactly why you should think of YouTube as today's digital gold rush. Seriously, it's this wide open landscape where pretty much anyone with an idea can show up and stake their claim. But just how big are we talking here? How vast is this new frontier? Well, the platform's dominance it's just undeniable. Get this, a staggering 81% of all adults in the US use YouTube. And if you zoom out, we're talking over 2.3 billion users across the globe. So you see, it's not just some website anymore, right? It's literally a core part of our culture. It's where we all go to learn things, to be entertained, and to connect with each other. And when something gets that big, it creates its own economy. That's exactly what's happened here. Content creation has gone from just a hobby to a totally viable and, for many, a really lucrative career. We are talking about millions of people, literally millions, who are building real businesses from the ground up, often starting with nothing more than an idea and, well, maybe their phone. So, with all this opportunity just sitting there, what's stopping most people from jumping in? You might think it's the gear, or the editing software, or figuring out that mysterious algorithm. But it's not. Turns out, the biggest hurdle? It's all in your head. It's the mental game. Yeah, in the book YouTube Secrets, the authors point to the number one thing you need to get started, and it's courage. And let's be clear, courage is not about being fearless, no way. It's about feeling all that doubt, worrying about what people will say, and then hitting that upload button anyway. That's the first, most essential step. And that courage is so important because, let's be honest, most of the excuses we tell ourselves are just myths. You think it's too crowded? Come on, with billions of users, there's a niche for literally everything. You think you need some fancy, expensive gear? The smartphone in your pocket right now is more powerful than what the first big YouTubers ever had. And what about needing some special talent? Nah, authenticity and just showing up consistently, that will beat raw talent every single time. Okay, so once you've tapped into that courage, you need a plan, right? You need a roadmap. And that's where this winning formula comes in. It's a super clear framework for your content, and it's called the 3 Ps. First up, P number 1, passion. This is the big one. It has to start here. This is the stuff you genuinely love, the topic you could talk about for hours and not get bored. Because that passion, that's the fuel that's going to keep you going when, the views aren't there yet and things feel tough. But look, passion by itself isn't quite enough. You also need the second P, proficiency. This is what you're actually good at. Your skills, your knowledge, that unique way you see things. This is what brings real value to your audience and gives them a reason to watch you and not the 10 other people talking about the same thing. And finally, we have the third P, which is profit. Now, hold on, this doesn't just mean money. Think of it more like sustainability. Is there actually an audience out there that cares about this stuff? Is there a real market for it? When you find that sweet spot where your passion and your skills meet a topic people are actually looking for, bam, that's the foundation of a successful channel. All right, so now we take that awesome formula, your passion, your proficiency, and that potential for profit, and we need to translate it. We need to speak the language that the YouTube algorithm understands. Because here's the thing, the algorithm isn't some big, scary, unsolvable mystery. It's just a system, and it's waiting for you to give it what it wants. So what does it want? It's actually pretty simple. The algorithm's entire job is to keep people on YouTube for as long as possible. That's it. So if your videos help it do its job, it's going to reward you by showing your stuff to more people. It looks for clues, signals like, do people click on your thumbnail? How long do they stick around and watch? Do they comment or like? Your job isn't to trick the system, it's just to get really good at pulling these levers. And of all those levers you can pull, the first 2 are by far the most important, your thumbnail and your title. Seriously, think of them like a billboard for your video on a super crowded highway. The thumbnail has to grab their attention instantly. The title has to make them curious. They have to work together perfectly, in like a split second, to get that click. If you can master that combo, you've honestly won half the battle right there. Okay, let's fast forward a bit. You've conquered that initial fear, you've found your three-piece formula, and you're starting to figure out the algorithm. The views are coming in. So what's next? The next big step is turning all that attention into something that can actually support you, a real career that can last. And the really good news here is that there's not just one way to do it. You've got your standard ad revenue, of course, but then there are brand sponsorships, selling your own merch, fan memberships, the list goes on. The smartest creators build a bunch of different income streams. That way, you're never relying on just one thing, which gives you so much more freedom, both creatively and financially. But through all of this, all the talk about money and business, the pros all give one crucial piece of advice. It's this: chase the vision, not the money. The money is a result of your success. It can't be the main goal. Your focus has to be on providing real value, building an actual community of people who care, and sticking to your vision. If you do that, day in and day out, the money, it will follow. So when you boil it all down, it really comes to this. The opportunity on YouTube right now is bigger than it has ever been. And the formula to succeed, it isn't some big secret locked away in a vault. It's a process. It's about having courage, getting clear on your plan, and being consistent. You know that old saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. Well, that's this. The only question left to ask is, what are you going to create?